There I am.
Hi there.
Hey, everybody.
Good evening, ladies.
Amy, you're sitting really still.
Oh, yeah, I guess I am. Ah,
Ventriloquist. Her mouth isn't even moving while she talks.
there we go.
Oh, don't start that, Yvette. Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh, that's a bad thing.
It's
It's
not
an hour earlier for you.
Yeah, I know. My 5 baby kittens are like exhausting me.
Oh my gosh, how old are they?
5 weeks.
Can you hold one up so I can get my kitten fix?
You betcha. This is cashew.
Oh.
I know. I foster, so I have 5 baby boys this time around. Yeah.
We had to put our girl down about maybe 6 weeks ago. I'm not even sure, 4 to 6 weeks ago. And once we move, I will get new babies. My husband, the other day, I said something about when we get, and he's like, oh, it's a when, it's not an if. I'm like,
Yep. I know. It's, yeah, you just got to. These are going to be hard to give back this time around. So, yeah, I really got attached to them all. So, yes.
maybe I'll foster first and then be a foster fail.
Oh, yeah. I've been that twice already. Yep.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, yes.
How are you, Amy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm hot. I'm like, I don't want to turn on the air because it's kind of loud, but geez Louise.
We have no air.
Oh, that's right.
And all of our yard work was supposed to be done this last weekend, so we could rehook up yesterday. And it didn't get done. There are legitimate reasons why it didn't get done. Well, now it's supposed to get done this next weekend, but now we're getting hit by a tropical storm in Wisconsin. And
Wow.
so it's hot. Well, it's not really hot. It's just muggy.
Yeah.
So just kind of the way it is.
You can come borrow my cold floor in your house or for a little while if you need to cool down. The floor is freezing downstairs and it's still hot upstairs.
Jim's working in the basement tonight, and I mean he doesn't want to actually be working tonight, but he's rebuilding the stuff we had to rip out. But at least it's cool down there. It's the one advantage. Hey Yvette, did I say I was starting or are you starting?
I can start. I just wanted to, I'm just doing a quick, like, where are you? So I'm going to tell you that what I'm going to start with, just so you know, is I'm going to ask you to share your success stories from the last week for follow-up, bookings, recruits. So I'll give you a second to think about that. Amy, did you get the PowerPoint thing that I sent to you?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need it right this second. I just wasn't sure whether it came through.
No,
Okay.
it's all ready to go. We can
Awesome.
start with our little testimonial with Amber whenever we're ready.
We're ready. We're ready.
Are we ready?
Oh, wait, no. We're doing success stories. Sorry, Amber.
Okay. Success stories first.
Yes. So this is for the rest of you. We're going to hear from Amber in just a moment. From the rest of you, success stories from the last week for follow-up, recruiting, 30 messages a day, like doing the best that you could do. How did that turn out?
I started Dash with my group, and 2 of them successfully got on and started classes, as did I.
Awesome. Excellent way to lead your team.
I think that's a great idea.
Sorry. I was just going to say I became a senior consultant as of this week.
Yes,
So
you
pretty
did.
excited for that.
Congratulations.
Yay! I'm working with the 2 recruits that I have right now and trying to help develop them, and seems to be going very well finally.
That's exciting.
Awesome.
Yes.
What else has been going well with your assignments for bookings and recruiting leads?
I've reached out to 30 people a day since talking to Amy Amy, when did we talk? I don't remember. Saturday? Saturday. I've gotten 10 no's, so now I'm starting to do my follow-ups to see if they've received my message. And it's a success for me because I'm outside of my comfort area. Instead of winging it, like I told Amy and Keely today, I'm actually starting to use the resources that are available to me, like Post My Party and Linktree. And I successfully used Linktree today and set up a block party that starts Thursday. And I'll be closing out a party tomorrow. That's over 700. So,
Awesome.
which is good.
Good for you. Growth. Love it. Love it. And you stretched your comfort zone, right? So
I did.
When your comfort zone is here and you stretch it, it can't go back. It's like elastic that just doesn't go back. So
yeah, now I have to keep going, and I'm sure Amy will in a couple of weeks push me even more.
And you will continue to push yourself too. All right, Amanda, now I'm going to start calling on you. There you go.
All right, so I didn't really do the whole 30 people, 30 contacts because I purposely planned not having any parties this week so I can get organized. So I did get my SidShare hooked up and I got some posts set up on there. I went through a few things and got my contacts somewhat organized. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to because my weekend got a little crazy with the family, but I made more progress than I would have if I wasn't trying. So I guess I gotta take what I can get for right now.
All steps forward are still forward.
Yep. Excellent. Sherry?
I've done contacts, not reach outs, not 30 a day in that. I've had a few people respond, so now I need to go back and, make sure they got my message. But I've been more consistent with posting in my group and that, and I went live this morning, and I actually got an outside order because of my live demo in that. So it was a $45 order just from doing a live video this morning. So for me, that's awesome.
Good job. And Keely, I saw you unmute yourself, so I figured you had something you wanted to say.
Keely.
And then she walked away. So here's my question to you, because I heard a recurring theme about not having a chance or not getting to 30 contacts a day. And I want to ask you, what do you think would happen if you stretched your comfort zone and you stretched yourself and you made it happen that you reached out to 30 people a day, what do you think would happen? Amanda?
So for me, it's not really as much a comfort thing as it's just a time thing. I like, and I know it sounds like an excuse, but I am like deadbeat exhausted right now because I'm not getting to bed till like 11, 12 o'clock at night, and I'm waking up at 5, and I pretty much feel like I've got everything going right now. So it's not that I don't want to, it's just trying to find that little niche of time here and there, and that in addition to running a party, I'm just trying. That's why I spent last week trying to get organized to try to help us not waste as much time finding things. I still am finding that I get easily distracted by all the great stuff that we have out there for information to offer people. So somehow or other, I think I need to figure out how to post without ever like touching my phone. Because I go to look for something and next thing I know, I'm like, oh, well, that's awesome. I'm going to save that.
Well, that's where the Cinch Share will come in handy for you.
Yes, I have found that I don't have to go on Facebook to do it. I'm just like, oh, that's nice. It's just you're there and you're focused on that. So as long as I have a plan, it's definitely helpful.
Great, great. And one more person. What do you think would happen if you were working to do 30 contacts a day?
Your business would explode.
Yes, business would explode, which would be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you are like, I don't know about that because I'm already having a hard time getting everything done. But
you'd have orders, you'd have customers, you'd have parties, you'd have recruits.
Mm-hmm. You'd have all of that. And speaking of all of that, Amy S., I'm going to let you do an introduction for us.
So I am very pleased. Actually, can you hear me? I'm having a screenshot saying I'm muted. Okay. So I'm very pleased to introduce Amber Grant, who she had marked on a door prize slip, I think back in February, that she wanted information about selling. So I kept trying to reach out here and there. And she just, I never heard back from her. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, was it the end of April? I mean, really, I even said to her today, I think it was, yesterday, it's hard to believe we've only known each other like 5 or 6 weeks. And we, within like 72 hours, threw together a 15-minute messenger party, got her enough sales to get $50 off the kit literally seconds before the party started. So while I was starting the party for her, she went online and signed up to be a consultant. So by the end of the party, she would have a party link so her friends could start ordering on her website. So she was excited, pumped up, motivated. And I will tell you from long experience, and Vet will probably say the same thing, that when you are just pumped up and excited and motivated, you do pretty amazing things. She kind of grabbed this business and ran with it. So I would like Amber to tell you just for a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes, what it's been like from her perspective to hit the sales level she's at and have 2 team members in her first 30 days.
Whoa.
I don't know. Now I feel like I have a lot to live up to with that. But yeah, I did not have this on my calendar at all, to become a consultant. It's so funny, Amy, because you did text me a few times and I never thought you were being annoying. So I have to keep telling myself that because I'm like, she wasn't annoying to me. I never was like, oh my God, lady, I never felt like that. So that helped me. I didn't do my 30 a day. I maybe did 100 a day and then 20 a day, I didn't just count to 30. So I didn't do it exactly, but I'm like, I don't think I'm annoying people. I gotta remind myself that. But anyways, so, I have to say that it's been really exciting and challenging and, pushing me to do things that I didn't think that, okay, wow, there's $1,000. Okay, $2,000. Okay, $3,000 sales. Okay, this is awesome. And I just got some of my knives today in the mail. I'm so excited for that. I'm waiting for the knife black. It's on back order or something. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm not going to unbox that on live until I have everything. But, and I just started doing all the videos, live videos. And I just be rambling. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I just talk about my day every time. Maybe it's my therapy in a way too, because I just like talk about stuff, but I'm making food and I'm using my utensils and my products and stuff. And that is the feedback I get the most, is that people really like the videos. So I slowed down a tiny bit with the videos, but I'm starting to go back again, and we reorganized our kitchen, so it'll be easier. But what I really love about, I mean, there's a few things I love: the relationships. I love the support. I love that you have everything lined up, ready to go. So if you follow the instructions, you should be good. That's just how I feel. But okay, I think that was probably more than 2 minutes, so I'll be quiet now.
I think, you know, you are on this end of the spectrum with excitement. I am so quiet. I am such an opposite person of you, Amber. So I never want anyone to think that, you know, today that we're highlighting you today because, you know, you have all this excitement. You can be anywhere on that spectrum. But when you have really visible excitement, it does attract attention and it can help. So the more you can do, even if for you, for any of you who are on today, whatever you think is over the top probably doesn't come close to what Amber does. So just be you, be whoever you are. Try and nudge a little bit of excitement into it and it will help. But, you know, I'm pretty quiet. I'm pretty laid back. I don't get visibly really pumped up and excited. We all can do it. But when you do have that excitement, sometimes it does give you a little boost. So anybody have any questions for Amber?
I have more of a statement. Amber has seriously kicked me in the butt. I'm pretty sure there's other people on our team that have felt the kick in the butt that Amber gives, but she's so excited, and I've been doing this for 3 years, and she just like rejuvenated me to a certain level when she started. And then she started putting sales up, and I was like, damn, I gotta get my butt moving. So I don't know if I've ever told you that, but.
That's awesome. You know, a little bit of competition within the team is a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel the same way about you, Ashley. I'm like, oh, she's killing it. Oh my gosh, how do I do that? So much love to you, girl.
And what I loved about your share, Amber, was what I heard was that you are authentically Amber. And that is what people respond to. You know, when you said your lives are like your therapy, right? It's who you are, and that's what draws people to you. So whether you do it in a lower key way, as Amy said, or not so much, like Amber said, if you are being authentically you, that is what draws people to you. So what I want to do next, what we're going to do next is we want to talk, speaking about being authentic, we want to talk a little bit about mindset. So this is the mindset moment of our training. And everyone in this group has said that you want to promote in some way, whether you're looking to promote a team leader, director, you're looking to promote, and you've set a target date by the end of the month for that. And the truth is that some of you will achieve this and some of you won't. You'll miss the target date, and that's not judgment, it's just the fact that that's the way numbers work. What I want you to think about is what might hold you back from achieving a goal that is in front of you. And you're all going to need a piece of paper for this, so I hope you have some paper in front of you. So the reality is that one thing, there's plenty of potential things, but the one thing that we're going to focus on in this moment that holds people back from having success for what they're looking for is fear. And I don't know if you know this, but fear stands for false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. So most fear is self-created and can easily become self-limiting if you tell yourself enough. So we're often under the impression that things outside of us cause our fear, when reality is that most of our limiting beliefs and most of our fears begin within our own thoughts and beliefs. And you can change the narrative of fear when you realize that the source is your own mind. So we're going to work on changing the narrative for a fear. So what I would like for you to do is write down one fear as it relates to promoting to director. What is one fear you have as it relates to promoting to director? And just give me some eye contact when you're done. I'm seeing about half of you are done. Don't move on to your shopping list. Go ahead and give me eye contact. Okay, there we are. So let's talk about reframing that. And I'm going to give you an example. If your fear is not being able to recruit 5 team members, does anybody have a fear of not being able to recruit 5 team members? Oh, look at that. Psychic. Think about changing it to say, when I ask enough people, I will easily recruit 5 new team members. So when you're reframing it, you're putting the action out front that will give you the result that you want. Okay? So if your fear is, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to recruit 5 people, the action is, when I ask enough people, reframe, I will easily recruit 5 new team members. Make sense? So I'm curious if there are 2 people, we'll start with 1, that is willing to share what your fear is, and let's reframe it. Monica is all over this. She's unmuting herself.
Can I keep up with everything? Like, so can I get everything done that needs to be done to help people?
Okay. So do you see an obvious way to reframe that?
No.
Okay. I'm curious if anybody, before I give suggestions, is there anybody that sees a way to reframe the action to take in order to get what needs to be done? Oh, are you all having that same fear? Is that what it is? Ah, very good. Amy?
What? No.
No,
Me?
not that Amy. Amy S.
Okay.
Sorry, Amy K.
No, it's okay.
Mess with you. Go ahead and mess with her. It's all right.
But that's not my fear.
Okay.
We all, Amy, you know I don't have time, but I'm making the time.
Right.
Which
you are. I'm
right.
I'm
my fear is not the same as Monica's.
Okay, so Monica, would it be safe to say that when you learned techniques to train while saving time, that getting it done would be doable?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so part of reframing is figuring out what you don't know, because there's stuff you don't know that you don't know about what your fear is, right? So when I learn what I need to do to support my team, I will be able to find the time, I will find the time to do what I need to do. You know, for example, I'm going to just give you an example. One of the techniques we teach is piggybacking, so that when you are doing a party, you're inviting your team members to come observe your party. So they're learning how to do a party at the same time you're doing a party. So you're not doing extra work, you're just having them observe. Okay? So now, Amy K, go into your fear.
My fear?
Oh, wait, sorry. Let me just say one thing. Monica, did that make sense? Was that helpful? Okay. Thank you, Amy Kay.
Just asking.
Okay.
And Amy knows my story. I don't like to feel like I'm being pushy or that I'm selling.
Okay.
And I don't know how to, I'm getting there. I'm coming outside of my box just by doing 30 reach outs a day and asking for bookings, right? Asking people to host a party. But I have used the script to my hosts a couple of times, and the responses I get are like, basically, stop bugging me, So my fear is just being too pushy, especially when I can see somebody that would do awesome.
Okay. So I hear a couple of different things in here. But the bottom line is that you have a fear of what others are going to say or think about you.
I don't know.
Being too pushy is what they think.
Right.
So I just want to, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what if reframing it was, when I don't care what people think about me, I'll be able to ask with ease.
Mm-hmm. And I don't normally care. I'm the type of person who really doesn't give a shit what other people think.
So let's apply it to your business.
I know, and I don't know. I don't know why I feel that way. I don't know why. I think most of it stems, my father was a salesman for my entire life, and he was your typical salesman.
Okay. So you've got some unpacking to do of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. And here's what I want to say to you is what I heard you say at the beginning of this was that you were reaching out and making those calls. You were reaching out and making those connections. So you actually do know how to do it, and you do it in spite of your fear. And
right.
So I give you kudos for that. And I see Ashley and Amber are just like chomping at the bits. So we have like 1 minute. So one of you, whoever, rock, paper, scissors, one of you gets to say something. I don't know who wins with that. I don't know rock, paper, scissors. But
I guess my thing, I don't know. I don't want to waste more time, but that was really fun, Ashley. We should totally do that again. I guess I'm just looking at relationships, and I feel like I want to have authentic interaction, and I feel when the only interaction people have with me is about Pampered Chef, that's where I feel like I'm damaging a relationship. So I'm kind of on the same wavelength with that. So that's all I had to say.
So perhaps the mind reset is when I build authentic relationships, the asking will be easy. Or when I'm not just asking about Pampered Chef, I can easily lead into a Pampered Chef conversation. So there's lots of subtle nuances. It all depends on what your fear is around it. But the bottom line is that what you want to do is, sorry, Amy, I know I'm going way over time on this one. You want to be able to reframe your fear, reframe your narrative. So what I want to do is just briefly talk about affirmations. So the reframing is where you take an action and put it in front of your fear to reframe your fear. A positive affirmation is a statement that you say is so. So I am a booking magnet. I recruit people with ease. I am a director of a strong selling and recruiting team. I fit everything into my day to have the success I want. I create authentic relationships from which people naturally ask to be part of my team. All right, Amber, there you go.
Can you record that and sell it Because I'll buy it.
It's recorded. So I will get you my PayPal account later. But here's what I want you to think about affirmations. There's two things the one thing in particular that I want to say about affirmations is they're stated in the here and the now. Because when you say an affirmation and you have a will, I will be a recruiter, it's always out in front of you. An affirmation is stated as though you are living in it right now. So we're going to ask you to share, one of the assignments will be to share your affirmations in the chats with your respective teams that you are in. So instead of doing it now, I'm going to have people share it there, Amy.
Yeah, that's fine. For my team, we also talk about mantras, which is basically the same thing, just another word. So if you're thinking affirmations is different, it's not the same.
Now it's yours, Amy. I'm going to pass the baton.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing, by the way.
Didn't she do an awesome job? Do you guys feel like you have like maybe something to wrap your head around and think about? Yeah, awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about bookings. More than 80% of bookings are booked with people you meet through parties. So parties are really the most efficient place you can get a booking. And our goal, as always, is to get at least 3 bookings from every party to encourage growth and then to deal with cancellations. So host coaching is one of the most important elements of successfully booking those parties. By creating a partnership with your host, you'll find more success in sales and bookings and recruiting. So let's talk about other things you can do to get bookings at your party. And actually, let's start. Anybody have an idea of things you can do to get bookings at a party? Spit them out.
Ask every single person when closing out their order.
Yep. Ask them when they're closing out their order. Bring up things that or have posts in the party, right? What else? Anybody else?
Follow up, follow up, follow up.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Give away a free gift.
Okay. So, the scripts that my team uses, we have different party prizes. Like maybe they guess how many carrots are in the blender. Well, and I usually say, congratulations, Amber, you won. Please private message me for your prize. Well, now she has to private message me. Okay, so that's a great thing. And I can respond to her saying, congratulations, I'm excited for you. You can either get a recipe booklet, which I would email to her, or you can upgrade to one of the following prizes below. And I have a graphic with 4 different prizes. It's like the herb keeper. I don't even know what's on there. Garlic press. I don't know. Stuff around 15, 20 bucks. But oftentimes it's about layering this information. Okay. So someone might say no to me when I send them that message, but then later on, I have my host do some 3-way messages with some of her friends about booking a party. And now all of a sudden they say, you know what, I have been thinking about it ever since our conversation. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So it's about multiple different ways.
I like that word upgrade, by the way.
Upgrade. It's a bonus. So encouraging your hosts to be active in the party. Those are a big deal. Featuring power tools. And if you can go live, do it. And mention, how do you get it free? I say, hey, I am happy if you want to buy this full price. I will be happy and thrilled to sell it to you. But you know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that you could get it for free or half price. And they usually laugh when I say that. Share the benefits of hosting. Personally invite everyone to host. Okay, so every time someone puts through an order to me, they get a message back saying, thank you so very much for your order. And then it leads, I don't ask right away to host, but I have a conversation that leads into hosting. Offer party themes. Use door prize slips. With virtual parties, I'm using a Google door prize slip. create interest by using the booking images. Pamper Chef has some really great booking images and marketing imagery. Use those. They're fabulous. You can go live with a recipe, and it doesn't even have to be a whole recipe. I'll go live with the manual food processor and chop an onion that I need for 3 days from now because I'm going to be making XYZ, and I'm going to chop the onion ahead of time. I can throw it in the freezer until I need it. Sherry?
I just wanted to comment on that, Amy. This weekend, I went live because I had rhubarb in my garden. So I did a quick demo with the blender saying, hey, I'm making rhubarb strawberry jam, and threw it in my blender, and I can just walk away. And then I came back later on. I said, this is what I came back with, and I showed up the jar that I had. So it was just on and off real quick.
Yeah, and you don't have to show the whole thing. You don't at all. Or it could be you starting the quick cooker and then just showing a static photo in the comments later. You know, there's so many different options. And doing something fast and simple and quick is a really great way to do it. Build relationships with the guests through private messaging. And I think I've already kind of touched on that, but I'm gonna give you some words for that. There's some great words in our training script here. And then I also have some words that I use. That I text people, because do you all know that if you're looking at your Pamper Chef email from your phone or a tablet, you can press and hold the phone number that's listed on the email for the order, and a text screen will pop up, and you can text people without having to retype their phone number. I'm seeing, yeah. So
Can you say that again? How do you do that?
Okay, I have an iPhone, so I don't know if it's different for Android. But on my iPhone, I pull up my Pamper Chef email. And generally, I'm a computer person. I don't like looking at it on my phone.
The email that comes from Pamper Chef.
The email. So I'm also direct ship. So it's actually very difficult for me to remember, well, who ordered when and which 222 message am I on and what am I doing? It gets very confusing. So what I do is every couple of days, as the orders are coming in, I'll start opening up, and I don't open them on my computer. So I can tell on my phone that they have never been opened. Does that make sense? And so I start and I open up one, I scroll through, I look to see what they've ordered, because maybe I'm going to reference something about that, but I just kind of check to see. And then I go back up, I look at what their name is, I look at their street name that they're on, I press and hold their phone number. The option to text message them comes up, and then I copy and paste a standard message that I have into there that I keep in my notes section. I know this sounds complicated, but once you start doing it, it's easy peasy. But it says, actually, I'll bring one up because I was doing it tonight.
Amy,
yeah.
While you're looking, can I tell you, when you do it on a Samsung or Android, whatever you want to say, it takes you to making a call.
Well, so if you gently tap it on an iPhone, it takes you to a call. If you press and hold on an iPhone, it gives you an option for message. It's two different things.
It goes to a call with this one. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. So I don't know how that would work with Android, but you could actually ask around for that and somebody might be able to answer that. But my message, what is it?
I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to say which way it was for a Samsung while you were looking. Sorry.
Okay, so it doesn't work we don't know of a way for it to work for Samsung at this time.
3 dots.
Oh, use your 3 dots. So for everybody with an Android or a Samsung, you know what that means?
It says send message in the corner.
Okay.
And because I've already copied my text, I don't want to copy the phone number because I'll lose my text.
Right.
So if you copy press and hold the phone number, hit 3 dots, send message, and then paste your message.
Okay. So my message says, hi, Lily, it's Amy with Pamper Chef. Thank you for the order. And I just want to verify it should be going to your Ida Court address. Are you excited about the knife you're getting? Or I'll say, in this case, this woman was only getting 1 item. Usually the message would say, which item are you the most excited about? So, and then I have an entire either or type script that goes through where I then can ask them, are they interested in joining my team? Are they interested in a booking? So, and I've been roughing out the script. I've been doing this for probably, I don't know, when did we start talking about this?
It's
2 months ago?
Yeah, not even, yeah.
6 to 8 weeks ago. So I've been doing this for the last 6 to 8 weeks. And I know in my last batch of block parties, 2 of my confirmed bookings were specifically because of these messages.
So I want to point out to those of you who are creating systems and concerned about time, that this is one of those time saver tips, because if you've got it saved in your notes or clipboard or wherever, you're literally just pressing, copy, paste, pressing, copy, paste.
So, and for me today, the messages I did today were while I was sitting in the doctor's office waiting for my son's doctor appointment. The messages I did last Thursday were while I was laying on the chiropractor table with heating pads on my back, getting ready for my chiropractor appointment. So I just laid on the bed and copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Didn't even think about it, just did it. It's brainless work. So anyway, okay, let's keep going because we're limited on time. And my team has to be off in 22 minutes. Ha!
Then you better get moving, girl.
So issuing a booking challenge. Ask your host to reach out to 5 or more guests and encourage them to book so that they get at least 3 bookings for an extra gift. I'm going to give you words about that. We call that the 3-way booking message. So it's where the host messages you and 1 other guest at a time and starts a conversation where then you can add into the conversation. Let's see. Surprise the host. Do a survey. Do a Google survey. That is actually a wonderful thing to do. Oh,
I like the surprise the host message.
Okay, I'm trying to read really fast so I can move on to your section. Surprise the host. Thanks for joining Sally's party. I hope you're having fun. Sally gets a bonus for each booking that comes from her party. When there are 3 bookings, they get another bonus from me. Would you like to surprise them by being one of the first bookings? That's actually kind of cool. It's all online and very easy. You can do a fundraiser for charity or an organization, or earn free and discounted products for yourself. Most of my hosts earn more than $400 in free and discounted products. That sounds really good. I'll give you an image and text to share each day, and I do the rest. I have these dates available. What do you think? Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Kind of like that.
Yes, we'll get it to you in case you're like, what did she just say?
Yeah, that's okay. We will give you all the wording for everything that we're going over, so don't worry about that part. Oh, my team call is starting in 20 minutes. Okay, and then surveys. I like my Google surveys. I usually get at least 1 or 2 people from the Google survey. The biggest thing here is that you're having multiple ways of inviting and talking to people about booking and or recruiting. It doesn't matter, but this part's on booking. Having multiple ways allows people time to think about this. And where I picked this up from many, many, many years ago, there used to be a field sales manager named Jan Gilbert. You bet you remember Jan? Okay. I'm still in touch with her. Actually, I do shows with her.
Oh, cool.
So she told me years ago that her kids would come to her and say, hey, can you watch the kids this weekend, the grandkids? And she said, my initial answer was always no. And I began to realize that if I would think about it a little bit longer, that I really actually wanted to, and I actually could, but I was so busy I didn't always think I could. So she taught her kids, her adult kids, to always ask her 2 times. Every time she said no, they were supposed to come back to her and ask her a second time, because it allowed her time to evaluate if she really wanted to or had time to that weekend, and then she could go ahead and say yes when she was able to. So it's a really neat thing, and I'm seeing it work. So making sure you're asking in multiple ways. Now, not everybody is going to get asked in more than one way, but there will be people who will. Okay. Any questions about that booking stuff? Because we got to get to Yvette's turn. No? All right. Back to the amazing Yvette.
Thank you, Miss Amy. So I want to add to what Amy was saying about the no, is that everyone, if you have had children, and even if you haven't, you know that the first word that you learn is no, and you learn it really well. And so it's the word that you have practiced using the most. And most people will say no before they say yes, which is why I love that concept of layering, because if you introduce something right from the beginning, you can get that no out of the way, and you can just, and it's not about going back and poking, it's about layering. It's a gentle kind of weaving. So let me talk a little bit about recruiting. When you focus on the 4 and 1, you'll recruit one person from every 4 parties you hold. I'm sure you've heard that before, but I'm going to say the 4 and 1, recruiting, having 4 parties and recruiting one person from every 4th party. And you can do more than that, but that's what the 4 and 1 is. To do that, though, you will need to identify 3 to 5 recruiting leads from every party, because out of every 10 conversations, one person will say yes. What this means is you'll need to be intentional about recruiting. Intentional. Remember that there are recruits at every party, but is there a recruiter? That's the question. Let's talk a little bit. First of all, the first lead that you have from every party is your host. Out of curiosity, how many of you hosted before you became a consultant? Okay, almost, well, I think that was almost 100%.
Amber did.
I think something happened for Amber. Okay. So yes, your host is your best and first lead. And while your host is your number 1 recruiting lead, you also want to identify guests who may also need our opportunity. So let's talk about how to identify potential consultants at your parties. I'm curious, what are some things you look for when you're looking for potential recruits? What are some green flags, some things that go, hey, Keely's unmuting herself.
People who
Savannah.
ask questions.
The ones who ask questions. Keely?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're rock stars.
How do they present as rock stars? What do they do to be rock stars?
So I just had one. It's like she's been a Pampered Chef purchaser for the last 20 years. And she would always talk about in the party, she'd talk to her guests about how great Pampered Chef is. And she talks it up already. And, my battery's low. And, she was just really in the game.
Okay. So someone who's all in. Okay, great. Any other ways you identify your rock stars?
Someone that loves PC, like they'll talk about all the products that they love in the comments.
Mm-hmm. And then in the live parties, because I know there are some of you who used to and may go back out and do the live parties, the first guest to arrive through the door, the one who offers to help you wash your dishes, the person who's incredibly helpful says, can I do anything to help you out? The guest who participates in your live party, like your guests participate in a virtual party with comments, talking about how much they love, what do they have, why do other people need it? And the bottom line is that everybody is a potential consultant. So we want to ask everyone. So how to get a commitment? That means how to get the yes. There are 3 steps to recruiting in your parties. The first is to inform. Inform is where you tell guests about the benefits of the business. This can be through an ask me post, ask me anything about the business. I'm sure most of you use that in your virtual party in some way, shape, or form. Guessing games, telling your story. So the guessing games could be a guessing game about Pampered Chef. It could be, you could do a guessing game about how many consultants there are, how many consultants we recruited in the month of May, how big the warehouse is, just any guessing games that have some kind of engagement having to do with Pampered Chef. The other, telling your story, and then using video testimonials, whether they're your own. I mean, you guys have we all have great team stories. You could get testimonials from your team members, and then Pampered Chef in the marketing imagery has some testimonial videos. So some of my other examples for how to inform, let me back up what I was just saying. So sharing your story at your virtual and in-person parties. For your virtual parties, you can create a post, but more importantly and more impactful is go live. or do a pre-recorded video. So there's a time saver thing, right? You do one video that you use in your parties. Keep it short and sweet and create the desire for the opportunity because you're still in the informing stage. Use recruiting posts from marketing imagery to create interest and inform during the virtual parties. Mix it up, all right? Not everybody's interested in the money. There's trips, there's friendships, there's free product. So there's lots of different ways that are things that interest people about Pampered Chef. So mix up what you post, why Pampered Chef, the kit, different kit pictures, and then of course post me the Ask Me Anything, because that allows you to inform people on what they want to be informed about. The next step is to invite. Okay, so you can tell people all you want, you can do the informing, but the inviting part is really important. This is when the guests are invited to learn more. This can be done through a post and then a follow-up message to personally invite guests to learn more. Here are some examples on how to invite. Play the game that creates open communication. This is similar to what Amy was talking about with the booking conversations. Try a simple guessing game where guests have to message you their answer. So how many carrots are in the water bottle? And when they answer you, you can thank them then for participating in the party. You can thank them for being a rock star guest and keep up the conversation. This is where you create those relationships that we were talking about earlier. And you can then ask and say, you know, you obviously love Pampered Chef. Would you be interested in learning more about our opportunity? Not really the best question because that's no open-ended. That's more of a yes or a no, but I'll get to that, more of that later. The purpose of the game for the communicate is to open the communication, because this is where that authentic communication that you guys were asking for earlier comes in handy. Look and listen for signs that a guest might be interested in the business. When you see these green flags, message the guest and start a conversation. Hopefully you've already opened it and they've messaged you first. How do you know your rock star guests? We talked a little bit about this. This is just reiterating what was said. They engage with fun comments, GIFs, emojis. They interact and add value by sharing why they love the product or a recipe. They're the sharers, the sharers, the sharers. They get other guests involved. They ask questions about the business, and they message you with questions to have a one-on-one conversation. Invite them to learn more by sharing the link to the Be a Consultant page on your personal website. I'm guessing you all know that, but you can go to your website, click on Be a Consultant, and then copy that URL, and you can send it to people who are interested. And what it does is it gives them a lot of information, and they can pick and choose about what information is most important to them. Because if you think the trips are what's the best part of being a consultant, but you have somebody who's never left their hometown, they're not going to be interested in that. So the last I in this conversation about recruiting, so we have the informing, the inviting, and then the inquire. The inquire is when you inquire about any questions that guests may have about the business. You can do this through text, messenger, or even a quick call. So here are some questions you might want to ask when you are inquiring. You can ask, have you had a chance to look at my website? What questions do you have? What appeals to you about joining Pampered Chef? So I'm curious, what kit would you choose? Are you ready to get started, or do you have more questions? Because I will tell you that one of the mistakes, if you will, that people make is they talk too much, and you will talk people right out of it. So the last question that I mentioned, are you ready to get started, or do you have more questions, is the best question to ask someone who says to you, I'd like to sell Pampered Chef. Don't even go through, just say, are you ready to get started, or do you have more questions? So that you don't wind up talking them out of the opportunity. So a reminder to ask every person at every party about the opportunity. Ask short, specific, open-ended questions that require more than a yes or a no. So instead of the question that I just gave you, have you ever thought about becoming a consultant? Which can sometimes be get an instant no. Ask, if you had extra money each month, how would that benefit you? Now, how do you know to ask this question? This is where you have engaged with people and you've watched what they've said when they've introduced themselves and they shared about themselves. So you need to be aware and pose questions in your party that has you get to know people. Personalize your message based on what you've learned about the guest. Authentic stuff that we were talking about earlier. Taylor, you've been on my mind. I know you mentioned your current work-life balance was feeling out of control and you were looking for a change in your job. I think Pampered Chef would be good for you. Here's why. It can be hard to find the flexibility you need for those 3 children and 5 dogs that you have. I've not been there, but I've had a busy life. What if you could still do something you love with a flexible income that allows you to spend more time with your family and pets? I'd love to tell you more. Do you have 5 minutes to chat with me? I'm free now or at 2 o'clock. What I love about that is you're asking, you're doing the either or with the time, and you're asking for the now. If you aren't sure or they don't respond, you can send them the Be a Consultant link that I talked earlier, which is on your page. And then you can follow up and see whether they have any questions. If they are interested but want to think about it or learn more, ask what questions they have and help them with any concerns. If you are not sure what to say, screenshot the questions and send them to Amy or send them to me. We will help you with the words. I will tell you this, if someone says to you, this is not in the script, but I'm going to say it. If someone says to you, I have to talk to my husband, best thing to say is, absolutely, you need to talk with him. Let me ask you this. What questions do you think your husband will have? And they're going to tell you what they think, maybe, or they'll say, I'm not really sure. I'm going to tell you the 2 questions husbands have. How much is this going to cost me? And am I going to be duped, or are you going to be duped? And that's what I tell people. I say, your husband probably has 2 questions. How much is this going to cost me? And are you going to be duped? And they're like, yeah. So if once they know that, you say, well, these are the costs. And no, you're not going to be duped because you're getting more in product than you are in investment right from the beginning. Okay. So Amy, you want to end us up with a call to action? Because I know that you are like edging in on your time right now. Or do you want me to do it?
We can do a call to action. I think that's an awesome thing to do. So once again, you're going to do a weekly check-in call with either Yvette or myself. Be prepared to talk about parties, bookings, recruit leads, contacts, and continue your contacts at least 10 to 30 a day for booking and recruiting. And remember, you're asking both. Okay, don't let yourself off the hook. And you are letting yourself off the hook. Okay. Write your story, maybe record a video that you can use where you can just, it's one of those huge time savers. Once you have a welcome video or a who am I video recorded, you can just pop it into your parties whenever you need it. And I find that really, really convenient. Did you have something?
Yes, I'm going to challenge you all to do a recording and post it in your groups.
Yes.
So that you can see each other's stories and be inspired by each other's stories. And for those of you who are scared to death to do it, this is the safest place to do it.
Yeah. Do it scared. And you know what? If you watch somebody else's and you're like, oh, I want to change mine, you can do that. There's this wonderful thing called the delete button, and you can delete the one you don't like and do a new one. So you're not live, just record it. Let's see. I would really like to see a list for my people of the things that you learned in this session that you'll take action on right away.
We both want to see that.
Yeah. like ideas for booking parties at parties, how you'll inform people about the business opportunity, and how you'll identify and respond to party rock stars. And yes, I will have all this and I will send it to you. We'll post it. And then keep adding names to your contact list, hot list for recruiting, and follow-up list. And don't be afraid to ask for referrals. I just finished a $1,600 party, which was a referral from the mom who's been telling me for 4 years that she's going to do a show and hasn't done a show yet. And she referred her daughter to me, who just had a $1,600 party. On the flip side, a past host who's done great parties with me just referred her 70-year-old mother to do a Facebook party because her mom is all about Facebook. So, you know, and she's supposedly great with technology. You never know, okay? So those are the call to actions.
Keep adding names to your contacts, your hot list for recruiting, and your follow-up.
Yes. Was this awesome? Was this good? Are your brains full?
Thank you all for being here, and start utilizing each other. Amber, to answer your question, yes, we will get the words to you. The stuff that I riffed on, no, because it's not in the script, but this was recorded. But I will include the husband words, because that's not a part of Pampered Chef scripts. That's an EDEC thing.
But we've been using them for years.
We have.
All right. This was awesome, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Good luck.
You.
I'll see my peeps in a minute.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
the rest of your evening, everybody.
Doodles.